Ask George is brought to you in association with International Cricket Tours. ICT are specialists in cricketing holidays with a personal touch. So if you're looking at going to New Zealand, Australia or Sri Lanka this winter, look no further than International Cricket Tours.
Well, what a fascinating day of cricket it has been here at the Oval for the second day of the final test between England and India. I am not a tennis player from the 1970s. I am actually Mel Farrell, and this is a bozo called George. So ask him.
John McEnroe got to seed.
It's not. You don't have long and curly enough hair to be John McEnroe. Oh, your face needs to unlock the phone.
Very rude. Oh God, it's not recognised. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, who could blame it? Should we explain? You explain.
You explain.
You're the presenter.
No, we are, of course, wearing headbands.
So you can't see yours. It's just a white band.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's of course
With quite a lot of stains on it.
A day for Thorpe. Where's now? That's going to be bad.
No.
There.
Yeah, that way. Should we just keep going?
A day for Thorpe, which has been actually a wonderful day here, hasn't it? It's been lovely to see so many people wearing these headbands. So you can also donate, of course, to the Mind charity. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So yeah, look up the number if you want to text and donate for that. We've donated with our £5 in buying headbands. So that is why we look like we do.
Jesus Christmas.
I told you I'd do it with my phone. So, to your
If I'm ever
question,
not here, you just have to hold a potato up to it, yeah?
Michael Penhale asks,
Hello.
After a good start to their innings, have England baseballed themselves into potentially losing this test and drawing the series?
Well, didn't they get themselves into a good position by playing aggressively and
Yeah.
playing that style, you might argue? I thought they did. So, lived by the sword. I actually thought India bowled really well, utilised the conditions better than England had. So I don't know that it's quite that simple. There were some suboptimal shots. Are England giving themselves the best opportunity in terms of picking people who haven't played a lot of first-class cricket? I think Jacob Bethell, Jamie Overton, even Josh Tongue, I think they're a bit better than they're showing. I think Jamie Overton's taken 2 wickets since the start of 2024, first-class wickets. He's averaging 177 with the ball in that period. I know from social media interactions that many of you disagree with me. I think he's a very good cricketer who hasn't shown that. Jacob Bethell, honestly, I think his ceiling is very high. And he did get a good ball, to be fair, didn't he? But I think that he's batted once this year in first-class cricket, and that was in June. Again, has he been given the best opportunity? And I think that the emphasis over freshness has gone a bit far. And clearly we know that those of my age will remember that England players used to play probably far too much county cricket. We used to turn up for tests exhausted and broken sometimes. And no one wants to go back to that. But at the same time, there's something to be said for having some rhythm and form. And it feels like people are trying to get it right on the night without having had the rehearsal. So I'd say that's more of an issue because Crawley and Duckett, they kind of nailed that opening stand. I thought they played really, really well.
That's sort of what I've written about today. About this basically feels like the first test of the summer that has been played in really English conditions. It's quite amazing. It's the first test that we've seen play out like this where the bowlers have been more in it. And it reminded me of almost why the baseball thing started, but this is the sort of situation where they clearly felt there was going to be a ball with their name on it at some point. And so the best way, when everything is in the bowler's favour, the best way is to try and put pressure back on them. And I actually thought they did it really quite well.
I think they did, but I do think that India's batters in general have better techniques.
Better defensive techniques, for sure. Don't you think?
You say tomato, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not the same thing. I would argue that you build from that upwards, but you know, maybe that's an old-fashioned way of looking at it.
Javed asks, going by the outrageous talent that Harry Brook is, don't you feel he should be batting in the top 4? Too often we see he bats with the tail.
I think there's a fair point there. I thought I seem to get quite a lot of questions again on social media about isn't Harry Brook wasting his talents? I think he is averaging about 60 and is rated number 2 in the world, isn't he? Ballpark, anyway. So, if this is wasting it, yes. I mean, you would have liked Joe Root to bat at 3, wouldn't you? But that's not happened, and it's not going to happen, and he's nailed 4. Although I think 2 of his double hundreds are at 3. Still think he could have done it. It would be lovely if Harry Brook said, I'm the fella to do it. Look, they are missing Chris Wokes, and someone is going to have to bat with the tail. And the tail's going to be generally quite long and strong. So he bats so fast and naturally, positively. I don't think it's a huge problem, but it does seem, for a player of that talent to be coming up 5, does seem a wee bit low. But it's a bit of a champagne problem, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, it's
not the
like first world problem kind of thing where it's almost not a good problem to have. There are actually 2 players now who are very good at batting with the tail, one in Harry Brook and one in Jamie Smith. And that's not a bad thing to have either, knowing that you have 2 players who can do that.
No, absolutely right. But it is, I don't know, we've been over this before, haven't we? There are people who have been sort of forced to bat higher up the order. I mean, Ollie Pope is the obvious example, but Jacob Bethell previously, who might have fitted in better a little further down had senior players stepped up. And Harry Brook is that senior player now, and maybe he would want to bat at 3 even.
Yeah, that
I mean, he clearly doesn't want to.
Yeah. Could we ever see him bat at 3?
Well, I think he probably wants to bat at 4, doesn't he? That Joe Root fella's kind of nailed that, and fair play.
Yeah.
The Cricketers' award-winning team brings our subscribers news, features and insight on county and international cricket every single day. You can try us now by signing up for £1. Yes, you heard that correctly, just £1 at thecricketer.com/digital.
JB asks, can Matt Potts count himself highly unlucky not to be playing in this test, considering how poor Overton has been?
I don't want to defend Overton again because I've already made the point, but there is something to be said for going for someone who's bowling overs in week in, week out, has some rhythm. They clearly, they don't seem to think that Potts' weapons are extravagant enough. He's not extravagantly quick. He's not outrageously skilled. He's a very good bowler, and I suspect he would have done well here. That is probably true. And same with Sam Cooke, actually.
Well, we were discussing him yesterday that the irony is that, going back to the conditions here and the pitch here, is that there are probably a couple of bowlers who would have done really well, because you don't necessarily have to be extravagant in what you do when
you have to take a line of length.
Right. Yeah, you've got to put it in the right spot.
Do you know who would have been good? And I hate to say it, but Dan Worrell.
Yes.
But so would Jamie Porter. There are quite a lot of people out there who would have been very good, very dangerous.
It's that thing again.
Did we talk about this yesterday? Tim Munton and
Yeah.
Steve Watkin and that sort of Neil Mallender would have all have been a real handful. So maybe they've picked the wrong horse for the wrong course in Jamie Overton. Honestly, I think he's a lot better cricketer than this.
Yeah.
And the game's not over either. I thought that last spell this evening was all right. He had a drop catch in the slips. He's a much better batter than he showed today, I promise you he is.
I believe you.
He's got 97 in his previous test innings.
David Hops. Remember David Hops?
Yes.
Hello, Hopsy.
Still having therapy.
Oh, I miss Hopsy. Why is Jacob Bethell sitting in the dressing room all summer more important?
I imagine he's saying it like this. Why, why? Cricket's angriest journalist.
Why is Jacob Bethell sitting in the dressing room all summer more important than him playing first-class cricket?
Should we do this in Hopsy's voice? I don't care who you are. I don't know, okay, David Bowie. Yes. He would be much better if he had played more cricket. Of course he would. Give him a chance. I was talking to someone the other day. Better not give this one. An England batter went on tour, a test tour. It lasted the best part of 2 months, and he batted in the nets 3 times. Now, I think they've learned from that a bit. I do think they've learned from that a bit, actually. And they're training more, but you've got to play. There's not many of these things we get better at by not doing. And I think if you looked at tennis or rugby, they would be spending a lot more time training and playing. And Jacob Bethell will have been netting, of course, but
It's not the same as being match hardened and having, it's a different rhythm, isn't it?
I'll tell you something else. I asked why he didn't go back to Warwickshire in the last game. When he stayed up in Manchester, do you remember? And they said, well, there's no point sending him back because he'll bat in the middle order. But I then checked with Warwickshire, which they hadn't, and they would have batted him at 3.
Wow.
So he should have gone back to Warwickshire and he should have played, and I think it's a mistake. And it's just a question of, it could be the difference, couldn't it? He's a very, very good player, and I think he's going to have a terrific career. I just don't think he's been given, like those other guys, the best opportunity to show how good he is in this game. Just needs a recalibration of the way they're doing it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we're losing light, so I'm going to go on to the last one and leave it in your hands. James Lawler asks, what are your memories of Graham Thorpe?
Well, he was, the stuff that we all saw. He's a very good batter. I don't want to do the personal stuff at all. Sometimes a bit cynical, maybe, about these campaigns, because I think they fool us into thinking we're doing something really helpful, and I think we've got a long way to go. And I think a lot of people I've known in cricket have cried out for help and no one's listened. But I spoke to the chief executive of mine this morning, and she told me that they had a lot more phone calls today than normal days, specifically because of this campaign. And I don't know, how many of these they sold today, over 20,000, I think, which is amazing. So they got more calls today, and she told me that people were alive today who wouldn't be.
Wow.
Specifically because of today's campaign.
That's amazing.
So, cynical as I am about such things, it's kind of a big deal.
That's a massive deal. That's a massive deal. So quite a sombre way for us to finish us, George, today.
Well, I guess it's
the
no,
death.
what's happened there, it's taken something bad and trying to get something good out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what his family wanted to happen.
Well said. We will see you back here tomorrow, which could be the last day.
Could be the last day of an amazing series.
It could be the last day.
I think if it is the last day, it'll probably be quite good for England. And if just on the fact that they've only got 3 seamers.
Yeah.
And and if it goes for 4th day, it's probably better for India.
We'll see. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we will know.